Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Ed Rossman is with us, and he's the author of 40-plus new revenue sources for libraries and nonprofits. Here to tell us more about his new book and about fundraising efforts as well. How you doing?
Really well, thank you.
Doing well, Ed. Tell me about this. You know, I know you work at the Shaker Heights Library, so you understand libraries.
Yeah, I've been working in libraries for about 20 years.
Yeah.
At Lakewood Library as well as Shaker Heights.
And libraries are in need of money.
Yes. We went through a real dip in 2008 as far as the recession goes, and when that happened, property taxes shrunk and revenues for libraries shrunk.
Other nonprofits need money too. They're on this broadcast all the time talking about the need for money.
Right, yeah. When the money goes down in the overall economy, what happens is the demand for libraries and nonprofit services go up.
Yeah. So what do you think they ought to do?
Well, I think they should use the model that public broadcasting had back in the 1980s, where they lost a lot of federal funding, but then they sought out commercial funding and their membership, and they worked on different types of revenue streams to diversify so they weren't so dependent. Now, IdeaStream only uses 10% of their money from the federal government. Everything else is received through the public and the local community. Yeah. So which is important as far as, like, you know, developing relationships out there. It's what you want to do anyway.
Yeah. Is that why you wrote this book now? This book about how to raise money for new revenue sources for libraries and nonprofits. This is you.
Yes,
this is a can-do book.
It's a toolkit, exactly. The first part talks about the first 9 chapters talks about the legalities and contracts and how to establish value for any organization through the proper metrics and through door count, program attendance, different things like that, as well as the outcomes that those libraries and nonprofits provide as far as transforming the community. And then after that, there's 40 mini chapters, each one detailing a specific type of revenue source. So it could be an art show, it could be an athletic competition, how to run a book sale, how to run a gift shop, and those are the different types of things. I've done some webinars on 5 different ways you can raise money really fast, and that's including online gift shops, own a day where the library says, hey, Ed Rossman, it's your birthday. We've got your name out in front, and we've got it in various places. A number of libraries have done that around the country, and they've been very successful in raising money that way.
It is getting tough out there because you can't always count on the voters to vote yes for increased revenue for organizations like libraries.
That's correct, yeah. And it's also the grants that a lot of libraries depend on. Those are getting more competitive too.
So they got to think. You got to think outside the box. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yes. And you started thinking like a broadcaster, looking around at your local community, see who would like to support us, who would like to be associated with our library's mission, or the nonprofit's mission. And I'm running an e-course right now that 11 library directors across the country and in Pakistan are attending. Yeah. And one of the exercises was look for 25 different local sponsors. One library director emailed me back. She said, "We found 68."
So that's a good thing.
It is. It's prompting them to look outside the box, outside the regular tax revenues and grant revenue, and start looking into the local community.
Now you talk about the webinar, a webinar where people can get together and talk with you about all these kinds of things. How do people link up with the webinar?
Well, that's offered. It's been offered once through the American Library Association, and that'll probably be done 3 times a year. I had one in September. 600 people attended it. It was great, a very good response. So all I can say is check with the American Library Association. They have a constant stream of webinars, and then also I believe you've got your contact information. They'd be able to contact me. Also, I have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Rev, R-E-V, the number 4, and then Lib, L-I-B. And you got if they go to that page, like it, share it, and I'll always have when my webinars and special events are happening.
And you also got a phone number, right? We're putting that number on the screen.
They can reach me at the Shaker Library, 216-991-2030.
And ask for Ed Rossman at the Shaker Library. Exactly. One of my favorite places are libraries. Why do you see libraries as important in this day and age still?
Because they offer resources that the public generally can't afford or would be hard-pressed to afford for educational and entertainment purposes. Getting DVDs, access to computers. There are so many things now that are required to go through the computers for government services, for Medicare, for various other things. So we provide that digital bridge.
I keep my library card. In fact, I keep my library card right on my key ring right there.
There you go.
Because I go to the library, and as I've said to you and said to others so many times, if there was one building that I had to be locked into, if they wouldn't let me out of it, and I would be in it for the rest of my life, I would choose a library. Because if I've got this library card there, that means I've got the entire world at my fingertips. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The world and its history.
Yeah.
And we can't forget that it's a link. At Shaker Library, we have a great local history department. It's basically chronicling the history of Shaker Heights, and as we go into the future, keeps a good diary of us.
And the name of the book is 40 Plus New Revenue Sources for Libraries and Nonprofits, written by Ed Rossman. Many thanks for being on the broadcast.
Thank you.
And you can reach him at 991-2030 in the 216 area code. You see the phone number at the bottom of the screen. Maybe we can raise some money for libraries and other nonprofits. They sit out here all the time saying, we need a couple of bucks.
I saw a number of organizations here today, yes, and I passed on the card.
You can help them along. Many thanks, Ed. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you.
I'll see you around the bend soon. Okay. I'll take a break. I'll be right back after this.